Hello and welcome to this edition of Minstrels on the Block, where we bring you the finest singer-songwriters in the Valley area. You've seen them both on the show, Travis Mackey and Abby Permenter, but you've never seen them like this, Corvus and Canis. Abby?
How are you, man?
I'm doing great. Glad to have you back on the show, Travis.
Right.
Glad to be
This makes,
here.
what, 4 times now?
This will be 3.
3 times.
We're good.
He's shooting for Henry's record. So tell me about yourself, starting with you, Abby. Where were you born?
I was born actually in Florida, Winter Haven,
Nice.
and I lived there for about 9 years and moved up here to Georgia. I live below Lumpkin in Trotman, which I highly doubt anyone knows where that is. But I've lived here for about 12 years now, and yeah, that's the longest place I've ever lived in one place.
Wow.
Yeah.
About you, Travis?
I was born in Birmingham, Alabama, moved to Albany whenever I think I was 3, and then from there moved to Columbus and Phoenix City and have been here ever since.
Very cool. So in Birmingham, do they love the governor?
Actually, I don't think they do. just throwing it out there, I don't not know. No.
That just clicked.
So, Abby, were your parents musical at all?
My dad was. My mom played French horn in probably high school, but that was the extent of her musical.
French horn, cool.
Yeah, and so my dad, he played guitar most of his life, and they've always found music to be a good outlet. Like if the world were to end, you could at least play on the street corner and get money that way.
Yeah.
So they thought of it as a necessary skill, and we all love music. We're all musical people. So
Very cool.
even though my mom might not play instruments, she has a good ear for stuff. So yeah, I just learned music through my dad pretty much. And my mom, she would drive us back and forth to music lessons. So
Very cool.
yeah, owe it to her.
And you've got 2 of the coolest parents.
I do. I love them.
Same question, Travis?
Well, I have an uncle that plays the drums, but my parents, they're not musically inclined at all. They raised me to listen to great music. They're the ones they're who I got my musical taste from.
Right.
Without my dad, I used to actually work with my dad, and we used to drive around from store to store, and in between we would listen to the radio station. And he would actually do a little contest with me, and he's like, all right, who's this? And it's like, okay, this is Peter Frampton. All right, this is off of Frampton Comes Alive, 74, I think. He's like, yeah, that's right, good job. So yeah, we used to do things like that. And
Ladies and gentlemen, a walking catalog. Encyclopedia, sorry.
Yeah.
There you go.
But no, my dad, they've always been very supportive of me and my music.
Very cool.
So yeah.
So now that brings me to the next question, which is fortuitous that you mentioned. Give me a list of some of your, and you just mentioned a few, but some of your early influences, what you were raised listening to.
Well, Brian May from Queen was probably one of my biggest, and also Stevie Ray Vaughan. Of course, Stevie's my big guy. But my dad introduced me to all this music. My uncle played the drums, and whenever I was 10, he showed me how to play Wipeout on the drums.
Nice.
I just kind of, drove it on from there. But my biggest musical influence would probably have to be Stevie Ray Vaughan. I've fallen in love with his music, and I can turn it on no matter how I'm feeling and just melt away.
Stevie, if you ever see this, is your #1 fan. Abby?
Well, my musical influence ranges from rock to Celtic. So it's like, Lorena McKennitt was one.
Oh, yeah.
Barlow Girl was the one that really pushed me into actually going into music as a career. I never really planned on using music as a career. I wanted to actually be an actress or something working in the theater. But I started composing stuff, and I started listening to an all-girl band, and I went, well, girls can play music and they can rock it out. So Barlow Girl was a huge influence for me, and Paramore is right now a huge inspiration and influence because I love Hayley Williams. I love her voice and how crazy her hair is and all that. I mean, she is exactly where I wanted my career to go. So, yeah, Paramore is a huge influence for me, but I listen to a wide variety of bands. I was raised like him with a bunch of 70s rock bands, so I know all about Pink Floyd and Lynyrd Skynyrd and Led Zeppelin and Doobie Brothers, all that. I know pretty much all that has influenced my writing as well, but like I said, I have a huge variety, but Barlow Girl and Paramore are probably my 2 biggest.
Very cool. Now, what was it that initially sparked your interest in playing music?
Well, a friend of mine had written some lyrics, well, a poem, and it was in lyric form. And I said, well, I just started learning guitar. I have a couple chords. Can I play around with it? And she goes, yeah, go ahead, have at it. Ended up becoming one of our more, like, I still can play the song today. Like, it was, wow. I had composed something so good that, not to toot my own horn, but it was good enough that I could perform it on stage pretty much the next day.
Nice.
So I realized I could do this, and I was like, hey, I wonder if I can do this with my stuff. So I ended up just going along with it and didn't realize it would become a career, like I said, until I saw Barlow Girl, and I just went, maybe I could do music as a job. I would love to. It's still on stage. I wanted to be a Broadway singer, so I mean, it was all down the lines of everything. It just kind of fell into place. Everything just kind of domino effect, and it just went down from there. So that's kind of how I got into it, was through just wanting to go on theater and then Broadway, and then I realized I can compose my own music, and it was good. So I decided, hey, let me do this. So my parents made me go to college first, though. They did do that, so I have a backup plan. But if they're like, if you want to pursue music, you got to have a backup. I said, okay. So I took 2 years, and I went to college, and now I'm pursuing it full time.
Very cool. And she decided to get into music and did it with a vengeance. Travis, same question.
Well, I started off in the middle school band playing the snare drum, the bass drum, the timpani, and all of that. And I'd never actually thought it was something very serious until I started playing with a youth praise band. And how that actually started off was there was a Coke can just sitting there. I had 2 pencils, and they were having a practice. And I just started tapping on the Coke can with the pencils. They said, hey, do you play drums? I said, no. I mean, I play a snare drum, but that's about it. So they said, all right, well, come up here, try it. I tried it. It was god-awful. They said, okay, you're playing Wednesday. And just kind of got literally thrown into it. And since then, it started off with the drums and the bass guitar, then the guitar, and just the guitar is where I really found my passion with it.
You don't choose music, music chooses you. He got dragged in kicking and screaming.
True story.
Abby, Elvis or the Beatles?
Oh, Beatles.
Beatles. Why?
I listened to enough Elvis in my lifetime, and I prefer the Beatles. I could listen to the Beatles all day. Elvis, I can't get through one song. I'm sorry. I mean, no offense to him or anything, but I listened to enough Elvis in my lifetime.
Well, that's refreshing because we've had a lot of Elvises lately. It's time for the Beatles to come back around. Travis?
I've mentioned it before on here. I know that I can't pick either. I can't pick Beatles, I can't pick Elvis, because they're both just big influences for everything that I've ever done. With the Beatles, their lyrics were just phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Imagine, it gets me every time. Yeah. And then with Elvis, Crying in the Chapel, I'll sit there and listen to that and just start tearing up myself. I can't do it. So I can't pick. I'm stalemate, sir.
Doesn't happen often, but it does happen. So Abby, now before we check out one of Abby's songs here, what has kept you in music? Once you got started, what made you stick to it?
Music is really, really hard, and I just want everyone to know that. It's not easy to stay with, and what keeps you sticking with it is the love for music. And I love to entertain. Mm-hmm. I know that's my job, that's what I want to go into, and I love playing music. I love singing. I absolutely love it. It's just something, it's who I am. And all I can say is, it's just, you have to love what you do, and you have to love the audience. And I love the audience, especially if they just enjoy what you do. Yeah. I mean, that is the most gratifying thing. You work blood, sweat, and tears on a song for a week or more. Like, you could be working on it a year, and then finally you debut it and people love it. Yeah. And they go, that was awesome, where did that come from? And you go, it came from who I was. Each song is a piece of me, because it literally is blood, sweat, and tears. You put everything into a song. They go, which one is your favorite song that you've written? And I can't choose, because they're all my kids. You don't have a favorite child. I'm sorry, you just don't. And I just look at them, I go, I love this one for this reason. I love that one for this reason. And you just that's what keeps me in music, is I just love music and I love to entertain. I just absolutely love it. And I love to inspire people, and I love to make people feel emotions, whether it's happy, sad, or inspired, or whatever it is. But it is a really, really hard business to stay in. And I can't emphasize that any more than that.
Like Thomas Gahagan recently posted on my Facebook page, the music business is a cutthroat industry with con men running the halls freely and good men die like dogs in the street. There's also a negative side.
Negative side to almost everything.
Travis, what's kept you in it?
Really, first off, the music scene around here, that is one thing that's really been a driving force with it. Without some of the stuff that comes on around here, I wouldn't be here. Number two is, first off, my girlfriend. She's been a huge supporter. She took me into Gorilla Guitars on my 21st birthday and said, by the way, you have $1,000 to spend in here.
I remember that.
Yeah.
So jealous.
Yeah. But my family's been a really big driving force in there, and just people in general. Whenever you get out there and you play and you receive the positive feedback, you know, first off you think, I'm not sure if this is okay. Mm-hmm. You get out there and people start, yeah, man, that's awesome. Keep it up. It's those keep it ups that you know, keep me going. So
very cool. Well, I'll tell you what, let's check out a little Corvus and Canis, and we'll be right back after this.
This song is Medicine.
Take it like medicine, drink it down or chew it up, eat it all like sweet candy, but it rots your teeth. It makes you feel good, you think you're better, your muscles have strength, your thoughts are clearer. But the mirror now shows a person who knows this is killing you from the inside out. So rushing through this wounded person who grabs at illusions and takes it like medicine. Unstoppable, unbelievable, who you are, your medicine. Like dancing with the fairies, breathing fire like dragons. Your eyes shine with tears, dull like unpolished silver. Given everything to feel again, or to feel nothing. 'Cause the mirror now shows a person who knows this is killing you from the inside out. So rushing through this wounded person who grabs at illusions and takes it like medicine. So rushing through this wounded person who grabs at illusions and takes it like medicine. It's too late for me now. Look at me, take it in. Let go of the thing killing you, what you call your medicine. I know it hurts to stop, but it takes pain to be beautiful. I know it hurts to stop, but it takes work to be beautiful. I know it hurts to stop, but it takes pain to be beautiful. I know it hurts to stop, 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 but it takes work to be beautiful. 'Cause the mirror now shows a person who knows this is killing you from the inside out. So rushing through this wounded person who grabs at illusions and takes it like medicine. So rushing through this wounded person who grabs at illusions and takes it like medicine. Take your medicine. Take your medicine. 'Cause the mirror now shows a person who knows this is killing you from the inside out. So rushing through this wounded person who grabs at illusions and takes it like medicine. Take your medicine. Take your medicine.
Hello and welcome back to this edition of Minstrels on the Block. Special guest Corvus and Canis. So fellas, well, lady and gentlemen, tell me a little bit leading up to and what you've got going on now.
Well,
We're kind of mainstaying in the Columbus area. We're trying to branch out into Albany and into Auburn. We're already playing on the radio station out in Auburn, 93.9 The Tiger.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're really good people. We went out there and had an interview with them, and just really awesome people. We're in Columbus most of the time. We've been playing at Iron Bank Coffee Shop. In fact, we'll be there on the 27th. We're going to do the Uptown Beep Ball. We're going to be playing there on the 29th. Tonight we're going to be at the Samurai Cuisine and Sushi Bar on Broadway.
7 to 10.
Too late for you.
Too late, sorry. And playing tomorrow, we'll be on the street corner, and we'll be playing from 8 to 10.
Yeah.
Now, both of you have had, have done your own thing solo or with the band. What brought y'all together as a group?
Oh, well.
I love this story.
Yeah, actually, I was playing on the street corner one night, and it started raining, so I had to pack up early. And so I went down to Fountain City Coffee, and I ran into Rusty Wood. And I bumped into him. I was like, man, get a job. Come on, what are you doing out here? And he said, actually, speak of the devil.
Turns out he does have a job. He's back there.
Yeah. He said, speak of the devil. And I said, uh-oh, what did I do? And he said, here, I want you to meet these people. And it turns out it was her parents, and they were looking for a lead guitarist, and I just happened to be there.
Nice.
The funny thing is, when it started raining on him, he had to pack up early. I had just finished playing. And usually after a gig, I'm starving.
Yeah.
So you don't realize, but you burn a lot of calories.
Oh, yeah.
So I am starving at the end of it. And they're like, okay, see ya, go get food. And I'm like, and I think you had come up, or my mom had told me about how there was a guitarist. You had mentioned there was a guitarist you knew. And so my parents are like, oh, cool. So they went to Fountain City, and that's where they all met up. And they're like, well, you should go hear this guy. He's playing. And so they went and actually heard him play and said, wow, he's good. And we would really like for you to come and practice at my house. And so he did. He came to a practice, didn't even know him from hell or high water. I actually passed him on the street and went, I wonder if that's him. I didn't even know what he looked like. I didn't know who he was. I was just walking with my friends and I saw another guy out there playing and I was just like, oh, rock on and all that. And I was like, I wonder if that's the guitarist that they were talking about. And he did. He just came to my house for a practice and didn't even know me. And it was awkward, sure, because he didn't know each other, but we jammed and we gelled. So, I mean, we've only known each other for how long?
Yeah, it's only been 4 or 5 months now.
4 or 5 months, and we look like we've known each other for 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
So,
it's like a little sister.
Yeah, it definitely. Big brother, I mean, we just gelled and musically and just as friends. It was great. And so I was like, yeah, you're definitely staying. And the way he played for my songs, the stuff he added onto it with the leads and everything, it was just, it worked. It was right for the song. It wasn't like he was trying to be his own thing. He meshed into what the song was and just knew how the song should go. And that's when I knew, yeah, this guy's got to stay. And so if anyone ever wanted to sign me personally, they're like, we want you, I'm going, he's coming with.
Yeah.
So, I mean, no matter what happens, he's going to be there. So that's part of the package deal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and we eventually decided to make Corvus and Canis. I was originally Amp Up the Music, and he was just solo Travis Mackey.
Travis Mackey, guitarist.
Yeah, I mean, we decided, well, let's just start fresh. It's going to be hard because you're going to start from the bottom again. And so I was just like, well, let's just start fresh and start new. And we ended up making Corvus and Canis, and we have a whole meaning behind that.
Yeah.
So.
Which is what I'm getting to next.
Yes.
What does Corvus and Canis mean? Now, I've seen the logo. I see, I think, a bird and a wolf or something.
Yeah, 2 wolves and ravens inside the wolves.
Yeah.
So what's the story behind that?
You want to go ahead?
Ravens and wolves have a special bond. They are best friends. Ravens rely on wolves to break into carcasses.
Nice.
Because, and we relate this to musicians and fans.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. Just hang in there. Ravens need wolves to break them into carcasses because they can't do it themselves, and they needed to rip it up in little pieces. But also, ravens will play with wolves, and wolves will play with ravens. And wolves will actually rely on ravens to call to find food. So a raven will sit there, find an animal that was sick or weak or is already dead, and they'll go, hey, there's food over here, come get it. And wolves will follow them. And so how we relate that to musicians and fans is, you can be a raven or a wolf if you're a fan or a musician. Ravens, we say, if you're a fan, you can say, this is the music we want, come get it. And so we'll go over there, we'll break it up, we'll make the music they want, and they can go feast on it. Or the fans can be a wolf, and you can say, well, we can be ravens saying, hey, here's our music, come eat. And they can go, oh, we like this, and you can enjoy it too. So you can be either or. You don't have to be a raven, and you don't have to be a wolf. You can be whichever one you want, and that's how we relate the two. Because we're best friends, we rely on each other. I can't do my job if I don't have an audience, if I don't have fans to enjoy the music and to say, this band is great, you should check them out, and all that. You guys, we depend on the people. We can't do our job without you. So
has to be a symbiotic relationship.
Exactly.
Now, I assume that you do all the writing for the thing lyrically, or do you co-write?
I've written pretty much all the lyrics, but he has actually composed 2 or 3 of the songs at least.
Yeah.
He's composed Warm Bodies as the actual musical part. I mean, I did all the vocals, but he did all the guitar on that, and Flirting.
Flirting.
These are 2 songs that we are performing, and it's just, he composed both of them, and they're brilliant, and I love them. So, I mean, I just end up writing lyrics and go, he'll be playing something, and I'll go, did you write that? And he'll go, yeah, I just
kind of picking.
Yeah, just kind of picking and stuff, and so I'm like, hold on, I have lyrics, wait a second, let's see if we can do something with this. And more than half the time, it'll work, and we'll just practice it, record it on my phone, and we'll play it next practice or whenever we get together again and jam. So it's, Warm Bodies is only like a month old.
Yeah. And
Flirting isn't even that.
No.
And we're already performing them. So that's, you got to be tight as a band. So.
Yeah. Travis, all those years of listening to Stevie Ray Vaughan, see the deleted scenes. Now, you know, you got your teachers or whatever that always say, "Where are you going to be in 5 years?" Would you like to see yourself in 5 years, and where would you like to see yourself in 10 years, 20 years?
Well,
I want a minute by minute update.
Oh yeah, minute by minute. Well, in about 30 minutes. No, really, I would like to see us getting signed and moving forward with it. I love the local scene, but I really want to bust out of it and hit national if we can.
Yeah.
So that's
International would
yeah,
be good too.
international.
I'd be
Yeah.
good with that.
But really, just trying to get out there and do it. You know, we want to be that band that you see on TV, that you hear on the radio. We want to be that. At least I do. So
That's exactly where I want to be. I want to be international. I want to be as big as I can because I want to make a living at this.
Yeah.
And I want to spread the music. It's not just I want to make a lot of money and be really famous. No, I write my songs for a reason and they all have a meaning. Whether it's a fun song or it's a deep song. Fun song like Flirting or a deep song like Medicine. I mean, I want to spread my music because I have friends in Korea who love my music.
Yeah.
And they say, "Oh, you got to come to Korea when you get big and everything." So I just want to spread the music. I just I want everyone to hear it because I know I hope if anything that it can speak to someone in some way, make them happy, make them sad, make them think. I mean, that's all I want. And to be big and international, that's the reason why. I want to spread my music that far and wide.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care if I'm rich or poor. As long as I'm traveling and I can do it and I can make a living off of it, I will do it. Right. So.
Yeah, and if you can make a living off of doing something you love, you're doing something that a lot of people are not doing.
right.
And you'll be happy.
And you'll be happy, yes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the list. The list is something we bring out every week, and it covers every music delivering device that I can think of. So let's just say y'all are walking around the house on a Saturday afternoon, drinking a cold one, you know, have a glass of tea or whatever. What are you most likely to be listening to on your wax cylinder, Victrola, 78, 33, 45, 8-track, cassette, CD, iPod, or otherwise MP3 or music delivering device?
Whew.
Yeah. Well, I know for me, in my record player right now, I have Nat King Cole. In my phone, I have Gogol Bordello, a gypsy punk rock band.
Nice.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Gypsy punk rock, I like
Oh, it's awesome.
Good stuff. Check it out. Gogol Bordello.
Good luck spelling that.
Yeah. Then in my CD player in my car, I have Paramore. Then in my radio at home, I have Stevie Ray Vaughan, B.B. King, and Robert Johnson. It's all in there because I got a best blues album in the world. So
Very cool.
So yeah, that's what I got.
You can always catch me listening to Paramore. If I want something to jam to, I'm listening to Paramore. I'm also listening to Imagine Dragons, their album that came out. That's really good. I can listen through that whole album and just enjoy every song. But I tend to listen to a lot of soundtrack music. I don't know if it's because lyric-wise, I like just sound. And I don't know if you've heard of Hammock, but I've been listening to them, and they're a lot of soundscape kind of music, and it's really relaxing, and it just triggers all the great creative sparks in my brain, and I go, I could do this, even though it's technically not even related to it.
Right, yeah.
So, but like I said, my music, it just depends on the day and my mood. I could be listening to Nat King Cole. I love him. I could listen to him all day, every day, just nonstop. He has the perfect voice. I mean, he's my top vocalist, so... But I can listen to Nat King Cole, to Paramore, to Imagine Dragons, to Loriana McKennitt, to... the Eagles, and I mean, I can just range from just great varies. So it just depends on my mood. So yeah.
Now, that's a question I don't usually ask, but I know that, when I write songs, I write songs that are whatever I'm doing at the time, and my music has progressed, in if not necessarily structure or quality, then it's certainly in type. I've written all manner of different types of music. Is there a like you mentioned, you listen to a lot of soundtracks. You know, you both have an extremely diverse, taste in music, which is makes a very strong musician. Do you have a type of song or music that you see on the horizon that you are trying to reach? Is there like a goal that you have for your perfect song? Or
I laugh because we've asked our friends,
Yeah.
what do we sound like? And this actually relates. And they go, you sound like you.
Yeah.
So we wanted to go for a Paramore kind of Warped Tour kind of feel to our songs, be a more rock band. But everything we seem to compose that seems to feel right isn't.
Yeah.
So I would love, like I said, Hayley Williams is doing what I want to do. That's where I want to be. I want to be with orange hair, rocking out, and all that. I mean, that's where I want to be. But everything we seem to compose, everything we write, isn't that. But that's okay because we ask people and they go, well, it's you. So I guess what I want is I would love to still strive for the rock sound, the Paramore sound, but I also don't want to divert from what I am because we have our own sound.
Yeah.
And so I love the fact we have our own sound and people just go, I don't know what to pin you as. You sound like you. And so I guess we'll continue to sound like us. So, I mean, we may strive, it may depend on what we're listening to that day.
Yeah.
That may change the variation of the song, but other than that, we'll just continue to sound like us. And if anything, probably go more towards a rock sound. I mean, it's in my roots. I can't, it's who I am, so can't change that. But
That's about it.
Yeah.
That's a good answer. I mean, hey, that's the answer we're looking for. Tell you what, let's see what their sound is a little bit more, and we'll be right back.
This is Flirting.
Sat there for me if you wanted to look and see. I try to play it cool and not stare, but I wanna know why you're there. Cause I just wanna look for a second or two, but I'm just too nervous to. I just wanna look for a second or two, but I'm just too nervous to look at you. Ooh. I'm just too nervous to. Why do I feel this way? You make me curious. I sit there and wonder if there ever could be an us. If there ever could be an I really try to pull a ninja and take a peek. I'm just too scared you'll notice me. I don't wanna scare you off. Maybe it wasn't me you want. Cause I just wanna look for a second or two, but I'm just too nervous to. I just wanna look for a second or two, but I'm just too nervous to look at you. Ooh. But I'm just too nervous to. Ooh. Oh, why do I feel this way? You make me curious. I sit there and wonder if there ever could be an us. Ooh.
catch. I'm curious as the Cheshire Cat. I'm Alice, you're my wonderland. My heart races when you catch. It's you I'm staring at. I'm drinking tea with a man in a top hat. Ooh, ooh, drinking tea with a man in a top hat. Ooh, ooh, yeah, yeah. Why do I feel this way? You make me curious. I sit there and wonder if there ever could be an us. If there ever could be an I don't know if you sat there for me, if you wanted to look and see.
Hello and welcome back to this edition of Minstrels on the Block. Special guest, Corvus and Canis. So fellas, this is the, keep saying fellas, ladies and gentlemen, this is the, what we call the pimping section of the show. This is where we pimp out stuff. So this is the shameless self-promotion part of the show. So let everybody out there in TV land know what you've got that you want them to know about so they can come and get it.
Well, we have a Facebook page. Just look up Corvus and Canis. We also have a YouTube page. Again, Corvus and Canis. We have a Reverb Nation page. Corvus and Canis.
Easy to remember, folks.
It's really easy. It's nothing changes. It's all one word. You just type it in, and it's facebook.com/Corvus and Canis. YouTube, Reverb Nation, all that is the same.
Just look right here. Donnie should be flashing it on screen about now.
Right here, Corvus and Canis.
And if you just Google Corvus and Canis, we're the first ones that come up.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So now, I'm sure you have a calendar of events coming up. So, and you mentioned some earlier. Yeah. So this is the area where we get it all on one big sign. So tell everywhere you're playing.
All right. Well, tomorrow we're doing the Uptown Columbus from 8 to 10.
Yes.
All right, 8 to 10. Then, well, let me see. We have
27th.
The 27th, which is Iron Bank Coffee. We're playing there from, I want to say 7 or 8 to 11.
8 to 11, I think.
Uptown Beep Ball, we're going to be doing that on the 29th. I'm not 100% on the location yet. From there, it goes into some Albany gigs, I believe.
August, I will be playing in Albany a few times, and can't remember any of the dates.
I know August 13th, we should be back at Chattahoochee Brewing Company.
Yeah.
So.
But if you look at any of the pages that they gave you a little while ago, I'm sure these dates can be found.
Yes,
Go
they can.
on any of the pages, specifically Facebook and Reverb Nation. They both have all the events posted on them. You can even go to my personal page, Amp Up the Music, and it still has all Corvus and Canis's
Very cool.
events.
And also, we do kind of get booked as those last-minute gigs. So if you follow us on Facebook, we post them, and the second we know we have a gig, it goes on Facebook.
Exactly.
Excellent. Now, a couple of questions I'd like to ask. One is, what do you guys think of the local music scene?
Well, personally, if it wasn't for the local music scene, I wouldn't be here. Playing with you out at the Lofts open mic night a few years ago, that got me, you know, really just thrown into the music scene out here.
Thrown
in. Again, kicking, dragging, you know. But the Fountain City open mic nights, the Del Ranch open mic nights, because we have so many open mic nights, it was easy to get out there and, you know, showcase what music I have, and then find people like this to join together and, you know, do collaborations with. So,
I love the music scene. There are a lot more musicians than I thought there were.
Oh, yeah.
And I really would like the public to help out the local musicians, because like I said, it's a hard job, and we rely on the people.
Yeah.
And so I love it. There are a lot of restaurants and bars that want to support the music, but we need the people to help support the music as well. And I really appreciate what everybody does for the musicians who open their doors up, because there are a lot of places that I tried to book and they said, we used to do music, but something bad happened and with a musician.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's terrible that one musician can put such a bad name for everybody. So I appreciate all the restaurants, all the festivals, and everybody that hires us or says, "Could you come play?" And it gives us promotion and it gives everybody support. So it really is a raven and wolf sort of way. We all rely on each other, even though we're completely different things.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I love the music scene. I love the people in the music scene. They're all, especially the people who hire you, they're all very supportive, and they love you, and they just say, please come back, and you can't help it but to come back because you just love the people. So, I mean, I would just really love the audience or the fans to really help support and help promote, because we can only do so much. We can only promote to our friends. And I think you mentioned one time that promoting, like if all the fans that we have on our Facebook page.
Yeah, right now we have around 200 likes on our Facebook page. If every single one of those people was to invite all of their friends and all of their friends accepted it, we would have over 54,000 likes on Facebook.
Nice.
So it's up to you guys, because we don't know your friends, I'm sorry.
But they're working on it.
We're working on it.
Now, how do you think the music scene, now you've played in the music scene for some years now, and I always ask this question on this show, is what do you think of the music scene? How do you think it could be improved? Because, you know, we get lots of different answers from people, and somebody watching the show might get a eureka. Now, how do you feel about the local music scene, how it could be improved, but also how has it changed from when you started playing?
Well, I know that there are there's a lot more open mic nights from what I remember back in the day. But there are also some of the places that have stopped doing the open mic nights. Again, the open mic nights thing for me was a big push out into the music scene. That way I could meet other people and all of that. And also, now that we're in the process of getting paid for the gigs, since we're at that stage now, actually getting in tune with the local restaurants and bars and things like that. Learning that, okay, well, these people do it this way, these people do it this way, these people do it this way. Maybe if everybody was to possibly get on the same page with it, things might run a little smoother sometimes. But that's just my thought.
Very cool. Hey, every thought might be the right one. And last question is, what advice would you give to aspiring artists watching the show?
To the aspiring artists, and I'm still an aspiring artist, but it's work. And you have to put your effort into it. You have to play every gig that comes your way. Sometimes you can't, but if someone says, could you play here, your last minute, do it. It sends tremendous waves throughout the pool of what is music. And to everybody who listens to it, it's worth every gig, and it's worth even the gigs that you go, man, no one's here listening. Doesn't matter, play it. That's the advice, and that's the thing I've learned. You have to play a lot. You have to play, if you can, every weekend. If you can, every day. I mean, that's my thing. And just remember why you're in music. Because I'm in music because I love it, and I absolutely adore it, entertaining, and I love the people who are in it. So if you can hold on to why you're doing music, you can't fail. There's nothing to stop you. I mean, if you have good friends and a good band and bandmates that are like family, it's all worth it in the end. So to you as the musician and to the aspiring artist, just continue to write, continue to make music, continue to play those gigs, because in the end, it's strengthening you to be ready for the tour or for the big debut that you're going to do on TV, and it all prepares you for that. So don't give up and keep striving for it, because it's hard work. Trust me, I know. And you're going to cry some nights to sleep thinking, is it ever going to go? And but it will. I really believe it will, and it's just a matter of time.
Yep, don't give up. Absolutely not. Don't let one negative comment throw you down. I once was told that my fingers were too short and stubby to learn how to play guitar. So if I can do it, anybody can. And so get out there and do it. That's all I can say is just do it. Make it happen.
You always miss 100% of the shots you didn't take. Thank you, Facebook meme.
Love memes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Corvus and Canis, Abby, I appreciate you coming out.
Thank
you very
you.
much. Travis, rock on, brother. Hope to see you next week on Minstrels on the Block. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. A lot of good content here. Great artists. We'll see you next time. I'm Brian Mallard, only on CTV EA.
This is Warm Bodies. The world is colder the more I live. I can feel it grip my bones, freezing me. My body is a hollow shell as I see where another one fell. Hold me, embrace me. The world is colder now. The warm bodies are leaving. Well, darling, we need every last one. Well, come back, don't leave. We need every bit of heat. The warm bodies are leaving. Well, darling, we need every last one. Every last one. Touch their skin, it's ice cold, just like the air around me. It twists and pulls on the soul. The sun is dim, the sky is cloudy. Hold me, embrace me. The world is colder now. The warm bodies are leaving. Well, darling, we need every last one. Well, come back, don't leave. We need every bit of heat. The warm bodies are leaving. Oh, darling, we need every last one. Every last one. Well, don't do it, don't do it. I'll help you through it, help you through it. Don't do it, don't do it. I'll help you through it, help you through it. Don't do it, don't do it. I'll help you through it, help you through it. The world is colder the more